Guys, so today we're going to talk about more specifically pets today. Now, you might be noticing that I've got a handful of pets between level 50, level 60, and level 30. One thing you should know out of the gate is you want to get most of your pets when you obtain them to level 30. The reason why is because you want to be able to unlock the following phase for that next creature as it unlocks. Now, something that comes up from time to time is, okay, I can advance the level, and you need a couple of things, right? You need energizing potions, you need strengthening serums, and you need taming manuals. Now, that's just to upgrade the skill, and obviously you can only go so far because you need pet food in order to level them, right? And so it's kind of this, you say, juggle of having pet food and those three items as you level your creatures. Now, you might be wondering, well, which ones do I invest in? Which ones do I spend time on? How often do these unlock? Obviously, when you get pets, right, it's really not until really after the first SVS that you play. So you'll get access to the hyena, the Arctic wolf, and the muskox relatively early on. I will tell you that the cave hyena is going to be the super helpful bonus for your construction speed. As far as what you get with Arctic wolf, it's stamina. And then in the case of the ox, it's basically free resources from time to time. Out of those three, which one's the most useful long term? I would argue that you're really never going to find yourself saying one is better than the other. More that you'll go, I think I need them all, and I need to upgrade them as much as I possibly can. But obviously, you're only going to have so much, right? And I would suggest what you do when you approach pets in this game. You need to just think outside the box for a moment and think in terms of what it is that you are going to do. To start off, you need to have a lot of pet food to be able to level these and get them upgraded and really get most of the advantages that come with upgrading them. This ultimately means you need to be able to save a lot of pet food, a lot of taming manuals, serums, and the rejuvenation potions. And so this is going to be kind of a tricky thing that you're going to have to either spend or you're going to have to save and invest in one at a time. You're not going to be able to get away with just fully upgrading one or the other. And so you're going to have to kind of find this even kill balance between either doing the first three that you like or investing heavily into one. I will say that you will get blue, the tapir, and the Titan Rock, usually like by your second SVS. By your third SVS, you'll get Giant Elk almost. And then by the fourth, fifth SVS, that's when you start to see these guys. You want kind of a general idea. Not an exact timeline by any means. If you want an exact timeline, go to the Whiteout Survival Discord and check out the server timeline. It will tell you exactly when approximately these are going to be released. Okay. But in terms of what you gain, I mean, this guy here gives you free pet food, which I think for almost every pay-to-play or free-to-play, this guy is a super, super big boon to saving you over time. Because that's a lot of free pet food that you're getting every day. Does it make a difference, though, if you're already spending? Kind of, but not really. That's 400 times 30 days. Yeah, it amounts to something over time. So if you're wanting to play free-to-play, this guy's going to be your big boon. Now, in terms of what, which one's best for this and what's best for that, I think is kind of dependent on what you're willing to do, and if you look at, like, say, for example, the mythical finding skill, if you're wondering what that gives you, it gives you guides from time to time. This is one of the few skills in the pets that I frankly would argue is, it's not as important, but it's still helpful, right? Now, like here, you've got Lightning Raid, which is increasing your march speed, and then it's also decreasing enemy troop lethality. This is helpful, but not necessary. The Cave Lion, I think, is going to give you a big bonus in terms of what you get for the troop attack. And then the squad bonus that you get with a Snow Ape is a big bonus as well. Okay. I would say that once you get to SSR, it becomes very clear that pets are going to have a very big impact on your gameplay. When you're kind of working in the purple range, I think you could kind of ignore it. Maybe invest a little bit into the elk if you'd like I did. but I wouldn't go too hard on the snow leopard if you ask me. When you're picking between the blues, I wouldn't worry about the Titan Rock as much. I would work more on the tapir if you're asking me. And then for the first three pets, I think you really benefit quite a bit from having these, but almost every gatherer account will want a muskosk. Most people that are going around and doing missions on a regular basis are going to want Arctic wolf. And almost everybody, regardless of what playstyle they have, will want the cave hyena. Okay? So in terms of priority, I would focus probably on the hyena first and maybe not worry about the other two as much. The tapir, I think, is a bigger boon, but later on, right? We're just looking at the war element, from the perspective of war. The snow ape, the cave lion, the leopard, and the Titan Rock are going to be your war pets. These are the ones that are going to cost more and are probably going to involve you having to spend more. Because I think you want to not prioritize them as much until you've got the other ones kind of worked on. Because those are what I would describe as, it's like the difference between expedition skills and exploration skills. It's one's going to be helpful for your account on a day-to-day basis, right? But these exploration skills, like the Titan Rock and these are the ones that are going to be more applicable to war. And the ones that apply to war are obviously going to be the most valuable. Between enemy health and troop attack, though, I think you could easily argue Cave Lion's going to be the one to get, but it all depends on where you are in the stages, too. A lot of people don't have all of these all at once, like I do. And so, on that front, I mean, that would be my recommendation as far as the pets are concerned at this point in the game. Of course, I'm sure there will be more pets potentially as I go along, because this seems to scroll a little bit further, so there's a good chance that there's still more pets. But that said, one thing that I will say that a lot of people might be wondering about is the refining element of this game. How does this work? Almost everybody collectively should save their marks, okay? I would not bother with upgrading these right away because you will actually find yourself needing events that will use marks for points. So saving marks is kind of a given. You want to save your marks. Now, when you refine a creature, you'll notice that it'll give you a green button. If it says green, you can replace. If you do a refine and you get a green, it's always good. Once in a while, though, and we'll see if I can maybe get it to pop up. Once in a while, the RNG will be red. And if that happens, and you get a red, then you just have to replace, and you basically wind up wasting after a certain point. I typically find that, like, whenever you're doing the low-level ones, common marks work great until you've gotten past, like, the green bar on a hyena, right? Vice versa. I think, in a way, you can kind of understand it from looking at their tier, because, like, where the cave hyena is, like, the lowest tier possible, Arctic is then normal, and then you go from normal to rare, and then rare to epic, and then from epic to legendary. The rarity is going to scale with the marks themselves, which is to say that the number of marks and the quality of mark that you're going to need is also going to increase and become more expensive as you upgrade it. Now, I will point out that, in general, if you stack advanced wild marks, it's going to be super easy to get a lot of stats bonused up from these particular pets. Now, if you're wanting to know more about the refining process in terms of when should I be doing it and when should I not be doing it, I think it really just comes down to events, if anything. If you want to know the extremes, you can actually find this on the Whiteout Survival Discord as far as what their maximums are. But I mean, the main thing that I would really stress here is that yes, there does in fact come a point when making use of common wild marks doesn't make as much sense as using the advanced wild marks. And usually you hit that limit pretty quickly. Obviously advanced wild marks are going to give you more, and therefore you're going to get more stats. So it'll take you a larger quantity of common wild marks to get the same effect you would get with an advanced wild mark. And so if anything, go into it with that kind of mentality, and I think you'll be just fine. And of course, you've got a daily rotation of skills. I mean, you can kind of see how I've gone about doing it. But that's really about all I have to say about pets today. But hopefully that was somewhat helpful. I mean, obviously, if you aren't already doing your adventures, you need to be, because that's free wild marks, that's free loot. Okay, like if you're not doing it, you're really shooting yourself. It's a lot of free shit. Needless to say, though, that's really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.